Welcome back to the 2020 school year, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, staying safe. Today, we are going to be starting our first assignment in our first unit for participation in government. And this first unit is very much trying to lay the foundation of kind of understanding in a very basic way what a government is, what are the different systems of government, what are the different types of government. We're trying to figure out how do these ideas, how do these concepts lay the foundation of the democracy we have in the United States. So today is very much an introductory day. We're going to have a couple notes, have a couple brief readings, just trying to get us moving towards understanding what the purpose of government is and how governments can look different. So our aim today, how can we summarize the role of government in our daily lives? So we're trying to figure out, how does the government impact us in our daily lives? All right. How do we interact with government in the United States? How does the government influence us in the United States? So if you do now, I want you to think about your daily life and try to list at least 5 things that the government provides for you. Okay. And one of the strategies to complete this do now that might be useful is just think about your kind of daily life, maybe pre COVID, but what are things that you're doing in your life that the government provides for you or has a hand in providing for you? So try to think about 5 things on your document. You have space for those 5 things. And we're just, once again, this is a brainstorm. This is a do now. Try your best. It's not based on right or wrong. We're just trying to get you thinking about how the government plays a role in your life. Okay, so after you're done with that do now, we're gonna transition to vocabulary, and you'll see that these definitions do need to get input on your handout. So the first definition, it's the title of our class, so it's probably important we understand this term. So when we're talking about government, this is the institution through which society makes and enforces laws and policies. Okay, so a general definition of government, but it's going to give us an idea of what we're talking about in this course. We're going to be looking at, in the United States, how does the United States make and enforce laws? How does the United States make and enforce policies? And how do different viewpoints and different ideologies kind of come together in this process? Next, we have the definition for democracy. Okay, this is a form of government where the power rests with the people, and the U.S. is a form of democracy. So if we think about government as being kind of the overarching topic here, democracy is one example of a government. All right, we'll talk about there are also other types of governments that we'll go through as we get through this course. Our next definition is the definition for a state. All right, so a state is a body of people living in a defined territory with the power to make and enforce laws without permission from a higher authority. So we'll also use the term nation, but a state is a group of individuals living in a defined space, and they have the power to make their own laws and decisions. Okay, so the United States is a perfect example of this. The United States has a government that can make and create their own laws and make their own decisions without the influence of another entity. All right, the last term we have today is public policy, and that is the things that a government decides to do. And it's a wide range of topics that public policy can encapsulate. So for us this year in government, we're going to talk about healthcare. We're going to talk about the role in education. But public policy is the actions a government takes that is going to be impacting the public. So this is just a key term that I'll be referring to throughout the year when we talk about public policy. We're talking about the different policies a government has that's going to now impact the people in America. All right, so what we're going to go to now, and I'm going to shift to the document if it's on here. All right, is we're going now to a recall activity. And this is, once again, focusing on trying to remember some stuff that we did last year. Okay, so what you're going to do is brainstorm ideas or details for each branch of the government. All right, we have 3 branches of the government. We learned this last year. This should be a review. All right, we have the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch. In these boxes on your paper, what you're going to do is try to come up with some ideas of the responsibilities of each branch and then who fills each branch. So there should be at least 2 bullets. What is this branch doing? What's their job? And then who makes up the branch? Okay, if you need to use Google to help you out, we're once again just brainstorming, trying to get our minds working again in regards to focusing on government. Once we complete that, zoom in here. All right, so at this point, we should have this whole front page done. All right, this was notes, and this is recall. All right, so now what we're going to do is shift over to some document work today. Okay, so we have 2 very, very brief documents. All right, the first one is the preamble to the Constitution. So it's the introduction to the Constitution. Remember, the Constitution is the document that outlines how the government is going to operate in the United States. So please use this text to answer these analysis questions. And remember, one little tip, read the questions first, turn the question into a sentence starter. Then you're actually going to go up to the text, read the text, underline the key ideas, and plug in the answer following your sentence starter. All right, so you're using both of these documents. The first document is focusing on the purpose of government from the preamble of the Constitution. The second document is from a politician who is describing and explaining her view on kind of the role of government and democracy in America. Once you are done with those short readings, you're going to conclude with the daily assessment. And once again, this should be full sentences. And your ideas should be supported by info from the activity. All right. This is very much an introductory lesson. We're just kind of getting things going. Today, that does not mean that we should be providing very short, brief answers. Be detailed. Explain your ideas. Support it with some information from those sources and those notes. Okay. As always, if you have questions or concerns, please reach out to me. Hope you are doing well. Talk to everyone soon.